he called another woman his bride at our wedding. In front of hundreds of guests, Felix slipped my wedding dress onto his foster sister Tracy with a grin, as if humiliating me was some harmless joke. Relax, people laughed. Ulissa never gets angry. They were right. For 5 years, I had loved Felix quietly, swallowing every insult just to stay beside him. But this time, I simply sat down among the guests and started eating. Only then did Felix realize something was wrong. He hurried over, stuffed the wrinkled dress back into my arms, and lowered his voice. Enough, Ulissa. Everyone's waiting. Come finish the ceremony. I looked at him calmly. Then I took off my ring and dropped it straight into the trash. I'm not marrying you. The ballroom froze. Nobody understood why I suddenly changed. Nobody knew that 5 years ago, before Felix lost his memory, he had knelt in the rain for 3 hours begging me to accept this exact dress. Back then, he loved me enough to abandon his pride. Now, he treated me like a joke. His friends immediately mocked me. You chased him for years. Felix agreeing to marry you should already be enough. Don't act spoiled. Even Felix looked irritated instead of concerned. It's just a dress, he snapped. Tracy only tried it on for fun. Fun. As if my dignity meant nothing. Before I could answer, Tracy suddenly collapsed dramatically into Felix's arms, crying that the dress had caused her allergies. Felix instantly blamed me. You did this on purpose, didn't you? I stared at him in disbelief. You really think I'd poison a dress? But he never listened. He carried Tracy away like she was precious while leaving me behind in the middle of everyone's ridicule. That night, Tracy texted me photos of herself wrapped around Felix. Oh no, she wrote. Did your precious dress end up in the trash? Minutes later, Felix dragged me to the hospital and forced me to apologize to her. He looked at me with disgust. The only reason I married you was because I pitied you. That sentence killed the last piece of love I had left. So after returning home, I finally called the man whose number I had hidden for 3 years. A low laugh came through the phone. You finally remembered me? My voice trembled slightly. You once asked me to marry you. Does that offer still stand? For you? He answered softly. Always. The next morning, the wedding resumed. Everyone thought I came back to beg for Felix again. Even Felix smirked confidently beside me. I knew you wouldn't give up the chance to marry me. I smiled. Then, in front of the entire crowd, I ripped off the wedding dress and threw it directly at his face. Gasps exploded across the hall. This dress, I said coldly, belongs to the man who loved me 5 years ago, not to the stranger standing here now. Felix's expression finally cracked. I pulled a document from my bag and slapped it onto his chest. A 5-year agreement, signed by both of us. Back then, after losing his memory in an accident, Felix had forgotten everything about loving me. His family feared the shock would destroy him completely, so they begged me to stay beside him until his condition stabilized. I agreed. 5 years, no matter how cold he became, no matter how much humiliation I endured, but the agreement had expired, and so had my love. Felix stared at the contract with shaking hands as fragmented memories finally hit him. For the first time, panic filled his eyes. Ulissa, wait, but I was already walking away. Outside the wedding hall, the sunlight was perfect. A black Maybach was parked at the end of the red carpet, and a man leaned casually against its side, hands in his pockets. When he saw me run out, he lifted his gaze. The corner of his lips curved slowly. That smile was gentler than the spring breeze, yet sharper than a blade. Let's go. He reached his hand toward me, his voice steady and warm. I'm taking you home as my wife.